I'm in Salad and I saw Hellraiser 1987 version. It is directed by Clive Barker. I didn't really know much about this before I watched it. I was like, I know my roommates are really big fans of Hellraiser, and I'm like, oh man, what is Hellraiser? Is it going to take place in hell? Well, I'm going to tell you in a bunch of spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, you gotta do it. Watch it. So, movie starts with following a guy who has a box sitting in a square candle arrangement, which I found to be hilarious. And he's like, pleasure. I want pleasure. I'm gonna spin the box, have like a puzzle piece, and then a couple of these freaky guys come and attach a bunch of hooks to his skin and rips him apart. Pretty brutal. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't really look at the scene. I know it's like latex being pulled by hooks, but it looks so real. It looks like skin. I'm just utterly disgusted by it. And that's not the only thing that is disgusting in this film. And now we have, a house being bought. Spooky house. Go into the house. Larry goes upstairs and guess what he finds? Some maggots in a bowl, in a petri dish bowl. And a cockroach. And if I saw this site, I'd be like, I don't want to live there at all. I'm leaving. There has been bugs before in this house. Maggots. Disgusting. If there's maggots here, there's probably maggots somewhere else. But, let's just have this house because it's big. We can clean it up. And I'm like, no. The amount of cobwebs plus the amount of mold in the corners plus the amount of just cockroaches and rats. You're gonna live in this place? I wouldn't live in this place. This seems disgusting, utterly disgusting. But anyway, they move in. Julia is, the wife of Larry. And as the wife of Larry, guess what she does? She has a lot of sex with other men, including Larry's brother, Frank, until, he's gone. He got goned, and she's like, I have to settle for his brother. Ugh, disgusting. And Larry is a nice guy. He's not really assertive enough, though, to be honest. He's like, well, I'm going to make sure that my wife gets everything she wants. You gotta, add a little bit of a challenge, or else the woman is gonna be disinterested and cheat on other men. You gotta add flavor. Challenge. Come on, Larry. How do you not know this? This is why you're getting cheated on. But let's go upstairs. Let's check out what's happening, says Julia. Julia is like, I'm gonna go into this place. It's a really creepy attic. You know what happens in this very creepy attic? She stands there. But what's happening downstairs, you got a mover, plus Larry cuts his hand on a nail. I'm like, oh, so gross, so much blood everywhere. It's just like, dude, how are you not dead? All the blood that you spilled from your hand. He goes upstairs and gets Julia's help, and all the blood spills onto this floor. And then some creepy stuff happens with the blood where the blood evaporates, but actually no, it sinks into the wood floor below. And I'm like, what is going on? Is something just being propagated by blood? What is this? The same propagation results in this slimy monster coming out of the wood floor, and it looks disgusting. The practical effects are pretty rad on this, in the fact that it made me not want to look at it, but I was really impressed by it when I was just looking at it, just staring. I was like, this is actually really cool. I know it's nasty, but that's the point. It's someone's raising from hell. He's not able to walk very good, and guess what happens? Julia walks up and there's a monster on the floor. Of course she panics. Oh, it's me, Frank. Give me more bodies, please. And I'm like, is she really about to give a bunch of bodies to this weird monster that just kind of popped out of the ground, and she's gonna believe him? I guess it's because he really sounds like Frank. So of course she's like, I want to believe you. Ah, yeah, I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna get more dates, which involves cheating on Larry some more, kissing them, taking them up to the room, and they're thinking they're gonna have sex in this weird, creepy attic, and then she attacks him with a hammer, which I find to be hilarious. I'm like, man, these men deserve to die if they're really this dumb to fall for this. If I was looking at this creepy attic, I would be in the doorway, I wouldn't come in, I would leave. I'd just run out of the door. I'm not dealing with that attic situation at all. And because they're dealing with the attic situation, Frank absorbs their life energy, and Frank slowly becomes more of a person. He becomes a little bit less grotesque and less like see-through-y and more muscly. Honestly, the creepiest stage for me has to be the muscle stage, because it's like, well, he's almost a person, but he has no skin. How painful is that? He even says it's really painful. And I'm like, oh man, Frank, why did you have to come back from the dead? Oh, it's because you want to escape something. You want to go run away. Where are you running to? Why are you running? And then we have Kirsty. She's kind of popping in and out. She's not really respecting Julia because it's actually Larry's daughter. So this is a remarriage. So I'm like, oh boy, they already had failed relationships. That seems kind of sad. Kirsty is very bright. She's like, oh, I'm gonna go over to my dad's place, and I see Julia trying to pick up some guys, bringing them into the house. Then she's gonna follow them into the house, and she goes upstairs. She hears a lot of stuff happening, such as sounds. There's a lot of sounds. Some floorboards creaking maybe, and she's about to go in, and then bam, guess who comes out? The guy that Julia brought in, all bloodied up, and Frank is about to go get him. I'm gonna grab you. Oh, Kirsty, it's me, Frank. Oh, it's Kirsty. I'm like, she has the right to be entirely freaked out, so she goes and hides. There's a whole situation of, oh, I'm gonna get you. Woo, woo. Oh, let's just disregard the guy that we almost killed. I don't know if he got killed or not. He might have gotten killed off screen, but it's not enough to make Frank whole again. So let's just sacrifice Larry. Okay, I have a discrepancy. So Julia's first like, don't get Larry, don't get him, no, please stop. And this is in a scene where Frank is very creepily standing in a closet, and it's very creepy, and just looking at Larry and Julia have sex, and oh, they're gonna have him killed, but she's like, no, and now she's like, yeah, I don't care, I really want you, Frank. Now Frank is wearing the skin of Larry. I was like, wow, this is really funny and grotesque. I like this. I know that's not Larry because he got the head that's kind of got an incision of blood just all along the side of the head. I liked that much. So, this is hilarious to me. Also, I should probably mention Kirsty again. Why am I mentioning her? Well, she takes the box from Frank. She throws the box out of the window while she's fighting Frank. You got a corpse of Larry that is like, oh, that's actually Frank. I got you. But of course she's smarter than that. She's like, no, I'm gonna steal the box. I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna open this box, and these weird creatures are gonna come out. It's honestly, they're kind of disgusting. At a really fat one. I like his multiple chins. And you got one that has his throat kind of held open. I'm like, why do you need your throat held open? Are you a smoker? Have you smoked too many cigarettes? Do you need to breathe like that? And also we got Pinhead. He has a bunch of pins on his head. He's the main talker. I like his design. And then we have the Chatterer. He keeps chattering. His lips are peeled open so you see his teeth and his gums. And it's just a grotesque sight. And there's a couple others. But it's so gross. They're about to get her. We want you. We want to take you. No, don't take me, please, says Kirsty. I know where Frank is. I'm going to lead you to Frank. And so she goes to Frank's house again. Let's gonna get him. And you got them cornered. I'm gonna get you, Kirsty. Ooh. And of course Frank's like, well, I carried Larry. Ooh. And guess who appears? Them. Aw, man, Pinhead is like, how did you escape us? Doesn't matter. Let me put a bunch of hooks in you again. And it's a really fun sight to see him just completely shredded apart. And then he explodes. And Kirsty now has the box. She throws it. I'm gonna get rid of this box. This is a gateway to hell. And there's a homeless man who was eating insects earlier at Kirsty's place as she kicked out. And now the same homeless man takes the box and turns into a bone dragon and then flies off. The whole cycle of there's a guy who sold the box to Frank, same thing's happening but to a different person. I'm like, oh, this is all cyclical. I like the bone dragon. That was pretty cool. That was a nice added touch. And that's how the movie ends. And oh man, the suspense is really suspenseful. And I say that because the house is the perfect setting for this to take place. It's like 3 stories, and you can see all the way down. It's great for Julia to know where everybody is in the house at any given time. And the way that the house is structured, there's just like so many nooks and crannies that you can hide in. Especially if you're being hunted by those good old pals from hell. Pinhead is gonna get you. Luckily, the box is a really cool design. I like the box. The concept of the box is very fascinating to me. Like, how do you put a box that summons people? Is it like a push button and then bam, people show up? I guess they're interdimensional beings. So I liked that part. Overall, Julia, I don't like Julia. And I'm glad that her good old pal Frank dies. Julia didn't deserve to live after having cheated on Larry so many times with no remorse. Because I do not like Julia that much, I gotta give this movie a solid 7.2 out of 10. If you like this content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The goal of this channel is for me to become an expert film watcher. So, if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it. So request a movie in the comments below, or you can fast track that request at patreon.com/ASCpresents. 20, that's 20. $20 a month gets you 1 movie review per 1 month. And $3 a month, wow, $3 for some daily vlogs, that's pretty sick. And if you want to help with the daily grind, keep the movie reviews coming, and to see some of my NSFW content, go to my link tree right here. It really helps with everything to keep going, because I'm going to do this for a long while. At least 1,000 movies, if not more, because the expert part is 10,000 hours. I want to have 10,000 hours of movie watching. That's what qualifies me as an expert. So if you want to help with that goal, go to this link tree. And until next time, I'm in Salad Sauce. I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.